And hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Sean Sublett from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Update on the severe weather situation across central Virginia. We do remain under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. That's all of immediate central Virginia, the entire metropolitan area, and actually continues all the way down toward the North Carolina state line in Hampton Roads. Let's walk through what we're up against for the shorter term. Here's the radar over the last hour or so. And we don't have a lot of imminent threats, and by that I mean the next, let's say, 30 to 45 minutes or so. We have had a few heavier showers. There's Richmond right there. A couple of those little heavier showers went through the west side of town, anywhere from Swift Creek Reservoir and out toward, let's say, Huguenot Road and back toward Tuckahoe and heading back up into Hanover County. But for the most part, we're in a pretty good spot at the moment for immediate central Virginia. But we're probably kind of living on borrowed time. So let's scroll through some of what else is going on nearby. Where we're going to be seeing our weather coming from is down here to the south. And you see the radar really lighting up down here across the North Carolina state line, back down toward Raleigh, Roanoke Rapids, and out here towards Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, in that part of North Carolina. Down here near Reedsville, that little area there is under a tornado warning near Olive Hill. Tornado warning is actually down here near Elizabeth City, North Carolina. These things here you see in Franklin and then going back toward Isle of Wight County, Southampton County, back towards Greensville County. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So all this is kind of pivoting northward and will be closer to Richmond. Maybe not so much the next 30 or 45 minutes, but we think 6:30, maybe as late as 7 o'clock. So if you've got things to get done outside, you might want to do them really, really fast before things go downhill in a hurry in the next couple of hours or so. Do want to revisit this down here in southeastern Virginia very briefly. It's a huge complex of thunderstorms down here in eastern North Carolina that is moving into Hampton Roads. If you have family or friends down there, be sure they're aware of it and check on the local media down there in Hampton Roads. Looking back toward our immediate south and west, again, just to help get the bearings a little bit. So there's Richmond, and this is going to be 360, which heads down towards South Boston, and then kind of links up here near Farmville and going westward towards Lynchburg. So this is what we're watching for the next hour or so as we go through the coming part of the evening time. So overall, not an imminent threat, at least for the time being. These are all the areas under the tornado watch until 10 o'clock. And to remind you, the tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the development of tornadic thunderstorms and severe thunderstorms that produce straight line wind damage. So don't get too hung up on it necessarily being a tornado. You can just as easily have a 60, 65 mile an hour straight line wind, which can do damage. After about 10 o'clock or so, we do think the threat is going to wind down in a hurry. So again, there are no active warnings for immediate central Virginia. That might change in another hour or so, but for the time being, things are relatively quiet. As we look through the next 12 hours, we think the next 4 are really going to be critical. First wave of thunderstorms comes through a shade before 6, and then there will be a lull in the action, 7:30, 8, 9 or so. Then a final round will probably come through close to 10, 10:30 or 11. Then once that is gone, we will be all done for the night. So we do have a couple of periods to keep a very close eye on as we go forward into this evening, and certainly everything is done late at night. You don't have to worry about being woken up in the middle of the night by a big storm. So damaging storms are still likely. We do expect there to be some isolated wind damage. This is not a tornado outbreak situation at all, but we would be surprised if there were no reports of wind damage by later on tonight. The biggest threat generally through about 9 p.m. with that scattered wind damage to be expected. Thinking ahead a little bit toward the weekend while we're here, do expect a big change in the overall weather pattern to one that is cooler and wetter. Saturday looks very wet, several rounds of rain, and the temperatures in the low 60s at daybreak, and then likely sliding back into the 50s on the heels of some northeast winds during the afternoon. And Mother's Day, unfortunately, does not look particularly nice either. It's not a driving rain all day, but it is going to be a cloudy day, a day that is chilly, damp, breezy. A few rounds of showers do go through, but again, not an all-day rain. If you got plans outside, be thinking how you're going to reformulate those plans for Sunday, because it does not look particularly nice to be outside. One last look at the radar here before we go back out to break. You see the little rounds of rain that have already gone through the metro area, mostly the west side of town and the north side of town. And again, the next 35, 45 minutes are going to be okay, but be very mindful as we get past 6:30, all the action that is going down here across Southside Virginia, down 95, Franklin, Wakefield, and extending eastward or westward back towards South Boston. That's where things are going to get more difficult in a big hurry in the next hour, hour and a half or so. So thanks for joining us for the live stream. And of course, we appreciate you supporting the Richmond Times-Dispatch. We'll come back in with another live stream as the storms do get a little closer to Richmond. But for the now, we'll take a break. Have a great evening, and thanks for being part of the Richmond Times-Dispatch.